Hello, today we're going to talk about the difference between shell courses and created courses in Schoology. I've logged in as a sample teacher account, and I'm just going to give you a really quick overview of the difference between those two types of courses. So first of all, let's look at shell courses. Shell courses are also called provisioned courses, and what you see here on my dashboard, ESL Advanced Low, this is what we would call a shell or provisioned course. For every class that you teach, you have a course that's automatically generated in Schoology by DASIS. What that means is whatever is in DASIS will be in Schoology. Your student roster will match what's in DASIS. So clicking on this course, first of all, looking at the name, it's the name of the course, ESL Advanced Low, the school year, then the site code, then the section number, and the course code. That's what this long string of numbers is here, and you can't change that, unfortunately. So you have ESL Advanced Low, and then this is the name of the course as it's provisioned over from DASIS. The members in this course are always going to be set by DASIS. You can add teachers and you can add TAs, so you can add course admins, but the student list is always going to match DASIS. This course will sunset when your DASIS course sunsets. So for example, at the end of the semester, this course will no longer exist in Schoology because it no longer exists in DASIS. It will be archived. Now, archived courses aren't lost. They can be retrieved. So if you accidentally let something archive and then realize that you had some stuff in there you wanted to use, your ITTA or I, Wendy Hurd, can pull that course out of the archive for you so that you can retrieve stuff. That said, this is one of the things to know about these courses is that they do archive at the end of the semester or trimester or school year whenever that section number closes. So keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind with these courses is you can't modify the roster on your own. If you have people in DASIS that you don't want in your Schoology course, unfortunately, that's not something that you can customize. Your roster will always match what's in DASIS. Another thing to keep in mind is that you can add the materials from any of your courses to your resources, so you can always save stuff. And I'm going to show you how to do that right now. So if I go to materials, I just have some sample materials in here, but I just wanted to show you that I could go to options and save course to resources. So if I wanted to use my shell course or my provisioned course, I could have, for example, my ESL Advanced Low materials. I can save those to my resources, and I can use them every time I have a new Advanced Low course starting. Okay, so next I'm going to show you the difference between this and a course that you create. The advantage of this is that you don't have to add students to it. It's going to manage the roster by yourself. Whereas when you create a course, you have to manage your own roster, and searching for students one at a time, it can take a little while. So why don't we go ahead and look at the process for creating a course on your own. So anytime I'm going through my courses, I go to Courses. I have my dashboard of my most commonly used ones, or I can go to My Courses, and I'll have a list of them. This is just a sample account, so there's only one. Okay. So I'm going to go over here to the right-hand side. I'm going to create a course. I'm going to do it at my site. You shouldn't have all the choices I have. You'll just have your site's choice. You might have your site and the Division of Adult and Career Ed, so make sure you pick the one that's accurate. You're going to name it on your own, so you don't have to have a name such as, ESL Advanced Low 9058 523. You can say something like ESL Advanced Low 8 a.m. You could say something like that, so your students have a little bit of help there knowing which course it is. You can name your section. You can set all these little parameters here. And you're going to have to choose the grading period. If you choose 1920, this course will sunset at the end of the school year. We have a sandbox grading period that you can use that goes all the way to 2025 if you want a course that doesn't sunset at the end of the school year. Now you have a course that you've created. It's totally empty, and you can add your materials here, and you can manage your members and add them one at a time. So if I wanted to add a student named, let's see, what site was I at? AFOC? Let's say I wanted to add a student named Julio. And let's say I remember that his last name is Chavez. Awesome, there's only one Julio Chavez. What if there was a number of them? This is where it can be kind of difficult to manage your roster. You're going to have to be able to see which Julio Chavez it is. So that's why some people prefer to use their provision course, because they don't want to have to search for student after student after student. That said, once you've done this, it's up to you. You can go ahead and manage your roster as you like. Now, one thing to remember, now that I go to my courses, I'm going to see both of this one I created and the provisioned one. One thing to remember is the one I create, I can control who's in there. So if I have a forum class at 8 a.m. and I want all those students in the same course in Schoology, that's not going to happen with my provisioned course, because if you remember, this is a course number here. There's going to be one of these provision courses for every course number within your forum section. So if you have 4 different levels in this 863 section, you're going to have 4 Schoology courses provisioned by DASIS. So if you are in a forum section and you want something like the one shell where everybody's in there together, then maybe creating your own course would work for you. Both of these courses are an empty shell that you put materials in. There's no course that's going to come preloaded with materials in it. So it's just a matter of how you want that built. Do you want it built to where you're managing your own roster, or do you want it built to where your roster is going to be managed for you? A lot of people who teach in lab settings, like the II lab, don't like to use the provisioned courses, because if you can imagine, one II lab might have 25 of these in it. That could be a real pain navigating through all of those, so they might just use one shell for an II lab. It's just whatever makes you more comfortable. So that's the main difference between a provisioned course or a shell course and a course that you built yourself.